I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. For me, it's like a maze. It's complicated, it's beautiful, it's fun, it's stressful, mostly rough though, at least the parts I grew up in. I was going through a really traumatic breakup with this young lady named Janice. I was 12 years old. I was going through, I'm young, I don't know what love is, but I feel, I have these emotions, and I hear a band called The Fray over my head, and at that moment they would speak. I felt like they were speaking directly to what I was going through. It was like drugs for me. I was hooked. I'm talking about from the morning to the evening. I go eat some food. I'll go back. I'll put the record back on. I'll cry myself to sleep. But the record kind of helped me get through it, and it made me feel like, oh, I'm okay. They felt that, so I'm like 12 years old, so that was my first experience, and ever since then I've been hooked. And it's odd because you would think that the first people I would hear would be like African American rap and all that, but it really wasn't. After I listened to The Fray, I didn't listen to Nickelback, and I was hooked because I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot of trauma, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of this, a lot of that, and most of the rap my family was listening to was more like I'm invincible kind of rap, like, I kick your ass, you kick, But I went to Nickelback, and most of the music I was listening to in the bands, it made me feel like somebody's going through what I'm going through. So most of the time, not saying I was suicidal, but I kind of like most of the stuff I was going through, I kind of felt like maybe it's best if I don't be here. Those were thoughts I was having. But when I was listening to music like from The Fray and Nickelback, they was making me feel like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not going through this by myself. So I got obsessed with it, and then I got into hip hop, and then I didn't realize that they were doing the exact same thing, but portrayed on a commercial side, kind of made me steer away from it. But when I started listening to people's albums, I got to know more about them, like DMX and it's a bunch of people, Nas, and I was like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Because when I was listening to the commercial side, they were just invincible. I'm a killer. I would kill you. This is that. It was kind of, I didn't really feel it like that. But on the commercial side with The Fray and Nickelback, they were being vulnerable. They was feeling what they was feeling. So that's how I was able to. But when I took the step to actually go listen to the album, I got that. And I was like, oh. So then I left hip hop. Then I went to R&B. Then I went to folk. I'm obsessed with music. Nas and The Fray helped me more than anybody on planet Earth. My mom and my pops couldn't even give me the type of insight they gave me because of the music put you in put you in the zone where you give them your full attention, and you're able to pick up that message, whether it's negative or positive. In school, I was the guy everybody came to for raps. Like I would just like freestyle, sometimes most of the time interrupting the class, and I could make a rap out of anything, like the science teacher, the math teacher, and everybody would just come for me for raps. And lunchtime, I would have the cafeteria packed, just at my table. But I just thought, I was just some cool, but the truth was I knew I had a way with words. That was my moment. It showed me like, I got something, like this is cool, and most of the people I was around was like critics. They were like, if they could, they're going to shoot you down. They're going to, verbally, they're gonna say something negative that's gonna just like kill your spirit. But they were like, "Yo, that's crazy. Like I like where you're going with this." Well, my first performance was at the Speak Life Tour, 2014. I was at a poetry slam, and they were kind of like auditioning, but they were also putting on a showcase at the same time. And I fell in love with the poets. I fell in love with the whole vulnerable thing, just telling your truth and connecting with people. So. Speak Life Tour, Miss Katelyn Trotter is she's the organizer for the Speak Life Tour. So I walked up to her afterwards. She didn't see a performance or anything. I just walked up to her and said, "Hey, can I please be on your tour?" And she's just like, "Well, can you you got any musical talents?" Like I'm like, "Yeah, but just trust me. I swear I have the best music you ever heard in your life." She's like, "Okay." So she gave me a chance, and I've been running with it ever since then. So I've been doing performing since 2014 when I graduated from high school. But I never took it serious. And my first performance, I swear to God, I can't make this up. I'm sure they got this on footage somewhere. Miss Katelyn, first performance, most of the crowd was crying. And when I seen the reaction from the people, I was like, yo, this is crazy. At the end, same reaction. Yo, whatever you do, just keep doing it. Man, I felt you. da 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 da. And I'm just like, damn, I could really help. I could like really do what the Fray did for me, what Nas did for me, for people. But I was kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I still wanted to be around for 2014. I was like 18. I still wanted to be cool. I still wanted to be down. So I was like living a double life a little bit. I was like, okay, in the conscious world. But then I'm going, you know, I was living on campus at Morgan State. And I'm just kind of wilding out. I was kind of suffering. I'm like, I don't know what I want. But I had a near-death experience in 2019. That moment showed me like, okay, if you're gonna do it, whether you fail or you don't, just give it everything you got, you know, because you may die. Because that showed me, okay, I can die. You know, everybody know they can die, but when it's right in your face, it's like, all right, let me hurry up. It kind of felt like, let me hurry up before, you know, my time comes.